There is a big boost to India's defence budget in the aftermath of Operation Sindoor. The message from the centre is clear that national security remains a top priority. The overall defence allocation has been raised sharply from 6.81 lakh crore in 2025-2026 to 7.85 lakh crore in 2026-27, which is a 15.27% increase. And joining me on the show is Rajesh Kumar Singh, the Defence Secretary. Mr. Singh, really appreciate your time. The defence budget has grown, but critics say revenue expenditure still eats into capital outlay. In Budget 2026, how much real money is going to go into modernization, new platforms, tech, and force readiness, sir?
So I will talk only about the capex part. We are not talking about the revenue part, the pay and pension at all. Now, in the overall capital figure for last year was 1,80,000 crores. This year it is 2,19,000 crores, which is a 21% increase. Within this, what we call the modernization budget, which was about 1,48,000 crores last year, is for the current year 1,85,000 crores, which is a jump of 24%. So we are talking real numbers here. We are not talking about whatever is, there is a significant percentage of our 7.85 lakh crore overall budget for defense, which is taken up by the pay and pension and revenue expenditure as well. But here I'm talking only about the capex. And incidentally, even in revenue, there's a lot of money which goes into stuff like maintenance, spares, fuel, etc., which are very much part of your operational readiness.
Okay, so the government keeps stressing defense indigenization. Can you give us a clear number? How much of this budget directly boosts domestic defense manufacturing and reduces import dependence?
So over the last 3 years, we've set ourselves a normative target that 75% of our modernization budget, the figure I mentioned just now, 1,85,000 crores, will be spent within the country in Indian rupees. We've overachieved that. Last year, we did 89% of our capex budget only on domestic sources. That means expenditure in Indian rupees. That will continue to be the case, which would imply that for the next year, out of 1,85,000 crores, 75%, at least 1,39,000 crores will be spent within the country.
Okay.
And this means that, of course, it will benefit all participants in the defense industry supply chain. That is not only the big wigs, the 16 PSUs, the large number of licensed large industrial enterprises, but also a large number of MSMEs whose number is about 16,000. So this money, 1,39,000 crores, will be spread over this entire ecosystem, which is fairly large and growing.
So the modern wars are about drones, AI, and cyber. In Budget 2026, how much has actually been earmarked for defense R&D and emerging technologies? And is it enough to change battlefield outcomes?
I think there is a significant increase of about 15% overall in the R&D budget, although DRDO would be in a better position to mention the exact breakup between the research funding and the capex funding. But if you're talking about the equipment and the technology upgradation within our modernization budget, yes, a significant amount of this money is going into areas like drones, into areas like cyber, in areas like secure communications, software-defined radio, counter-UAS systems, and ultimately also on this futuristic Sudarshan Chakra mission, wherein we are trying to build a really resilient, strong, multi-layered air defense system for critical infrastructure and critical city points and population centers all over the country.
A couple of more questions. Roads, tunnels, and forward airfields are as critical as weapons. Does this budget significantly step up spending on border infrastructure, especially along the China front?
Maria, this government has given a real impetus to border infrastructure, whether it is airfields, whether it is roads, and as a result, you will find that the what we've set aside for the Border Roads Organization has been growing significantly every year. Ever since the BRO as an agency was put under the Ministry of Defence in 2014, we've sort of tried to ensure that they have adequate money. They buy the most modern type of equipment, so to ease the sort of drudgery of labor when it comes to working in these tough terrains. And those results are very clear. I think year on year, we are building much more than we were earlier. And you would, if you visit the border areas, you'll see that difference yourself.
India is, Mr. Singh, also pitching itself as a defense exporter. So what concrete export targets are there in this budget, and which Indian platforms are ready to compete globally?
Well, the target that our Raksha Mantri has set out before us is to achieve 50,000 crores by 2030. We've done last year about 23,000 odd crores. This year, by the time the final numbers come for the current financial year, we will expect to reach 20-something, in excess of 25,000 crores, I'm sure. Ultimately, it is the growth of a diversified, strong defense industrial base comprising both public and private sector, which will also lead to a much larger exports. But if you're talking about individual platforms, yes, of course, some of our platforms that are battle proven and ready, a large number of areas like artillery, like the BrahMos missile, like the Dornier aircraft, like the ALH advanced light helicopter, the Pinaka rocket launchers, all of these are systems that are battle tested and very much in demand all over the world. And I'm sure you'll see exponential growth in exports in the coming years.
My last question to you, sir. With an active LAC, a volatile LOC, and rising maritime challenges, does Budget 2026 truly prepare India for a two-front scenario?
I think it goes a long way in meeting that requirement. Ultimately, you are now a nearly 4 trillion economy. Even if you achieve 2% of the GDP, that is, in our estimate, good enough to meet most of the capability requirements that the services have projected. We've actually given them more in terms of a 24% increase in the modernization budget. They have assured me that even a 10% year-on-year increase sustainably done over the next few years would have been adequate. But here we want to, in the context of Operation Sindoor, ensure that capability enhancements in certain areas is really speeded up. So you'll find that with this 24% increase, most of these capability issues will get resolved in the coming years, and we will have the kind of military power that a $4 trillion economy should have. That is the intent, and the government essentially is putting its money where that intent is and making it count.
Rajesh Singh, really appreciate your time. Thank you for speaking to India Today.